Welcome, everybody, to the Locker Room Rant. I'm here, as always, with my boys John V and Nico. I'm Tony, and we're going to jump right into the NBA playoffs. First, I'd like to say, if you haven't subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button down below. Leave us a comment. We'll make sure to get to it. We had a comment on our last show from a guy named Jeremy. And he was asking, when are you guys going to talk about the NHL playoffs? And I have an answer for you, Jeremy. Never. We don't play that shit on this show. Unless the Columbus Blue Jackets are in it, we don't care. So,
literally hockey is like something we're only going to talk about when like something extraordinary happens.
What would even be extraordinary to talk about, Nick?
I don't know, maybe like somebody like eventually like getting like the most goals ever in a season or in their career or something like that.
That might have happened this year. we would have no idea.
It's just I appreciate hockey. I appreciate the athleticism of the athletes. It's just a really, really, really boring sport to follow.
It's terrible. Unless you're there live. It's pretty nice live. But John, you got a drink?
I do.
Nice to see you
Right
back
here.
off the wagon.
Nick,
Nick,
is that the usual gentleman Jack?
No. We cleaned that up at the wedding. This is my stash of Eagle Rare.
All right.
ooh, it's good, buddy. How about you, Nick? You got the infamous Nico,
The infamous squirt.
the infamous squirt. I'm going
You're
with Gentleman Jack
pathetic.
tonight, Nick. John, I got the gentleman going tonight.
Oh, dude, very good. I got these crazy little I don't know if you can see these little stones in my glass. They're
Yeah.
supposed to keep my beverage cold. I like it neat, really. I don't like anything in it. I forgot to wash them, so hopefully I don't grow like shit on my head. But
So next week,
stuff.
if it's just me and Nick, everyone will know why. The dirty stones.
the dirty stones. This is some strong shit, so it should kill just about anything.
Nice. Let's jump into the NBA playoffs. First series I want to talk about is the Milwaukee Bucks versus the Brooklyn Nets. The Nets have a 2-0 lead with no James Harden. How did we get here? Is it over? Do you guys think the Bucks can come back? John, let's hear it.
Well, I hope they can, because I hate Kevin Durant. I cannot stand Kyrie Irving. And fuck the Nets, bro. I want Giannis to like catch KD with an elbow somewhere in the orbital socket and just make him irrelevant. Do I think the Milwaukee Bucks can catch one? I mean, I hope they can. Otherwise, this shit's over.
Nick, what do you think?
For me, it's over. I mean, I don't think they're gonna get swept. I think the Bucks will probably pull like one or two out. But yeah, the thing about Giannis is he's a star. He's talented. We all know that. But I don't think Giannis can be the number one on the team. I think Giannis has to be the number two. You look at me crazy like I say that, but he can't hit free throws down the stretch. Okay. He's not a great three-point shooter. Yes, all the other facets of his game are excellent, but those are two things that you actually need to have. Middleton also, he's kind of a number two-ish guy. He's probably better as a role player, but he's thrust into that number two role on the Bucks. You're talking about, and you know I love Drew Holiday, but Drew Holiday is kind of like a role player in himself. He's a defender. He's like a secondary scorer. None of those guys can really take the reins when the game's on the line. Honestly, Middleton's probably your best guy in doing that. On the other side, and we know Harden's. I don't actually know how long Harden's hurt for. Is he hurt for a while?
They haven't even announced how long he's hurt for. So it's still a question mark for everyone.
With Harden, they have three of the premier players in the league. You're talking about three of the top, we'll say 7 players. Okay? Even without Harden, they have 2 of the top premier players. Okay. Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving's a little wishy-washy. I know Kevin Durant's kind of his main complaint is that he's soft, but in the playoffs, those guys are going to be tuned in, and those guys are going to be near impossible to beat.
So Blake Griffin has kind of found the fountain of youth, and he is all over the place. I don't know if you guys are watching these games, but that guy is everywhere. He's diving on the floor for rebounds. He's dunking like the Blake Griffin of old. So it's. I mean, he has been killing it so far in this playoffs, games 1 and game 2. So Blake Griffin stepping up. It's going to be. We're going back to Milwaukee. They say a series doesn't start until the home team loses. So we're going back to Milwaukee. Going to see what the Bucks have. See if Giannis has enough. See if he can start making some free throws down the stretch. But these games haven't even come down to free throws, man. They've been getting blown out. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see how that series goes. Nick, I think I'm getting a little feedback from your microphone.
Nick, you got a ceiling fan on?
No, it's off. Actually,
No, it's spinning, guys, but it's off.
It's off. Well, it's on full blast. So the other series in the Eastern Conference, it's tied up 1-1 after Philly won last night. The Hawks took game 1. Philly took game 2. Embiid's been a beast in game 1 and game 2. But we're going back to Atlanta. They got a 1-1 split. Who do you like in that series? We'll start with you, Nick.
I like the Sixers. So I mean, you get all these teams in the playoffs, but there's only a couple teams that really you think are going to win, and the Hawks aren't one of them. The Sixers are. Yeah, the Hawks did come out with one win in that series, but I think the Sixers are going to take it. Embiid's too good. They don't have anyone as good as Embiid. Trae Young's playing very well. I'll give him that, but Embiid's the man.
Embiid is the man. Johnny.
Atlanta. I got Atlanta.
You like Atlanta?
I do.
Why?
For any?
I don't like Embiid. Ben Simmons really doesn't do anything for me. I don't follow the Sixers. I know, Tony, that's your squad, bro, but I like Atlanta. I like Atlanta to come out of this. I don't have any favorites. I don't care for the Sixers very much. It's like this. I don't care for the Nets very much. I don't care for the Sixers very much. And it is what it is. I mean, Embiid put up what, like 40 the other night?
39, yeah.
39? I mean, obviously that dude has figured out how to.
Actually, he might have gone for 40 on game 2, I think.
I think it was game 2. I heard he put up 40. So either way, I mean, he's carrying them, you know. I don't know how much Ben Simmons is contributing to this series. I don't know. I don't know his stats. I didn't really check into him, so I'm not really sure. But
Ben Simmons has been terrible so far.
So I mean, I love Trae Young, man.
Yeah,
he's something else.
Yeah, but I don't think that, besides for Trae Young, I don't think that team is very good.
I mean, here we are. I mean, they've won one series, right?
Their bench has been playing pretty good. They Herter, Gallinari, Capella's been all right, but they've been playing good. They've been hanging with them for the most part. But I like the Sixers going forward. We'll move over to the Western Conference. Last night was game 1 of the Clippers Jazz. Super entertaining game. It came down to the last possession. Jazz had a 3-point lead. Clippers come down. They're passing it to Kawhi, passing it to Paul George. It ends up in the hands of one of the Morris twins. I forget which one they have. Either Marcus.
Who cares?
Who cares? One of those fucks.
That's the same.
They're the same fucking guy. They're the same guy. So it ends up in that guy's hands, and at the final second, he shoots it, and Rudy Gobert blocked.
Rudy Gobert. I saw it. I loved it.
Sweet.
I loved it. I loved it.
I mean, it was really
he shook defense. Gobert got that block on a recovery. Like he
yeah.
You know what I mean? He
like 8 feet tall on his wingspan's like a pterodactyl, so he can do that.
That was pretty sweet, though. I mean, ultimately, there's a chance that if it was Marcus, that he hits it, right?
Oh yeah, his 3-point percentage is one of the tops in the league actually this year. So if he gets that off, there's a good chance he makes it.
They tie it up.
Go to overtime. Maybe they have a chance in overtime, but nonetheless, Jazz take game 1. Big deal or not a big deal? We'll start with you, John.
I don't think it's a big deal. I think actually the fact that these two teams are pretty even. The Jazz, if we said this before, that the Jazz have the deepest roster in the playoffs currently, as far as their bench is as good and can hold their own and put up. I don't know what the Jazz put up, what the bench put up last night, but
the bench did a good job with Derek Favors was playing good. Clarkson is the 6th man of the year, so you're always going to get points out of him. But without Mike Conley last night, it was a struggle. It was a struggle against a very tough Clippers team, just coming off some strong momentum off that Game 7 versus Dallas, but they were down 2-0 to Dallas, both games at home. So I don't worry about them battling back. They're a tough team. I just hate Tyronn Lue as a coach. I mean, how does this guy get so fucking lucky that he just takes over these teams with like the best players in the league? He gets so lucky. I mean, that Cleveland Cavs championship was handed to him.
Yeah.
He takes over a Clippers team with Paul George, Kawhi Leonard stacked. I don't think he deserves this. Those are like his only 2 coaching jobs.
You know what the thing is? You know what the thing is with that though? He like there's a bunch of guys in the league that are like this. He's a player's coach. He's a young guy, played in the league. He'll let the players do pretty much whatever they want, and the players like that. So when you have a team that's full of stars that pretty much want to do their own thing, who do you go to? You go to a guy like Tyronn Lue. I'm pretty sure Steve Kerr is probably the same way. I'm pretty sure Nash is probably the same way. That's why he got the job.
Neither one of those guys are doormats, bro. Tyronn Lue's a doormat.
Yeah, he is.
Those guys are not doormats.
You kind of think about it. Steve Kerr was handed the Golden State Warriors with all those guys in their prime.
Yeah.
So it's not like he had to work his way up through the coaching ranks. Yeah. He was handed 3 championships. Who's the other guy you said?
Like Nash.
Steve Nash.
Yeah.
Think about that. This is his first coaching job ever.
Yeah.
He has Durant, Harden, and Kyrie. Yeah. Don't you feel bad for like the guys that have coached in the NBA for like 30 years that don't have a championship?
Like this guy, like these guys aren't like Chuck Lowry. Like they're not like gonna like be like strict disciplinarians on their teams, or they're not like Phil Jackson, who's pretty much gonna like do like Zen Buddhism crap and all that stuff. These guys are just there. They're the face. Yeah, will they do some things? I'm sure they know a little bit about the game. They'll do occasional things here and there, but for the most part, they're just there.
Chuck Lowry.
What's that?
Who's Chuck Lowry?
I think Chuck Lowry might be the guy that actually hosts the Love Connection. Who is the coach of?
I'll drink to that.
Who's
Hey,
the coach of the
to Chuck
Pistons?
Lowry. To Chuck Lowry.
Who's the coach of the Pistons in the 80s?
Chuck Daly, the
Chuck
Dream
Daly,
Team coach.
right? Not Chuck Lowry.
There's only two Lowrys I know, and that's Mike Lowry from the Bad Boys movies and Chuck
Holy-
Lowry. Love
Holy
Connection.
shit. The Chuck Lowry,
Jesus.
the love connection guy. He's not really a player's coach, nor does he coach anybody. Holy shit.
Chuck
All right.
Jesus.
The last series that we want to talk about is the Nuggets and Suns. Denver Nuggets lost game 1. They have a 1-0. Suns have a 1-0 lead. They're about to tip off here pretty soon. Jokic just got announced league MVP yesterday. Who do you like? Suns got a 1-0 lead, but again, that was at home. About to play tonight. You still, John? You still riding those Suns?
Oh yeah, and it's the series I'm paying attention to, bro. I love it. I love it. I love it, man. I think they can seal this one up, man. I bet you they win tonight, bro. And I'm willing to bet that they win by 12.
Ooh, a little beatdown in Phoenix. How about you, Nick?
Yeah, I got to hand it to the Suns. I really honestly thought they were a team that kind of was like, just kind of like getting a crescendo in the regular season. And I didn't think they would have as much staying power in the playoffs, but they have.
Yep.
I'll tip my hat to them. If I had to choose, I would probably go Suns.
I mean, you don't have to. Listen, you have to choose.
And that's why I
And
said
you chose right. You chose right. You did discredit the Suns.
yeah.
You really didn't buy in on this.
I thought they were kind of like the Knicks, honestly.
Are you willing to accept the fact that Devin Booker could soon be maybe the league MVP in a few years to come?
Well, I mean, listen, Booker's good. I never said he wasn't good. I just said he wasn't. I don't think he's among the top. He's like right around the top 10 in my eyes.
I mean, have you seen the numbers that he put? Have you seen some of his? I mean, this dude scores, Nick.
He does.
Did you see how many? Did you see, Tony? What was that? 8 threes in the first series, in the first game.
I don't know.
He's a very good scorer. He's a very good scorer, and I do consider scoring the most important attribute to have.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the rest of his game is kind of up there, but he's a premier scorer in the league. I can't take that away from him.
So I'm gonna make it all three of us and go with the Suns as well. Just because of literally Chris Paul and his leadership to that team. I mean, I can't believe how good he is. Like everywhere he goes, the teams are just good.
Yep.
True leader, and I'm taking the Suns as well. So back to Jokic, though. Do you guys think that's pretty deserving, that MVP?
Yep.
I mean, I can't argue it. I mean, there could have been a couple other guys that maybe deserved it as well. But if you're going to give it to Jokic, I'm not going to.
Do you feel like Curry was snubbed?
No.
No?
No. His team wasn't that good. Yes, he's the best player on the team, and I mean,
the trophy is most valuable player, right?
Okay, but that's always
it's not a team. It's not a team.
So there's always been
award, I should say.
There's always been kind of like a devil's advocate argument with that. With who do you give it to? The best player? Do you give it to the best player? Do you give it to the player with the best stats, or do you give it to the best player on the best team? It's kind of hard to say. No one's ever really made that whole basically said what that is. You know,
he was the highest drafted MVP of all time. He was drafted in like the 40s, like the 41st pick or something like that.
Yep.
What a steal, huh?
Oh yeah.
What a steal for Denver that was.
Hell yeah.
Also, if you've been watching the Locker Room Rant, you know there's a controversial coach in the NBA by the name of on the show, that is, for Tom Thibodeau. And the other day he was announced NBA Coach of the Year, Tom Thibodeau from the New York Knicks. If you've been following the show, you know that Nick is not a big fan of Tom Thibodeau. Nick,
listen,
don't even try it.
Listen,
don't even try it.
When you say I'm not a fan of Thibodeau, I'm just telling the truth about Thibodeau. Thibodeau will get you to the playoffs. Okay, he'll get you there. It's like another coach that we just talked about, Terry Stotts from my Portland, formerly from my Portland Trailblazers.
We technically haven't talked about Terry Stotts yet.
We will. They will get you to the playoffs, but they can't. They don't have this. Their system does not win championships. Their system doesn't even really come close to winning championships.
But I feel like that's their job. Their job is to get you to the postseason. Like everything from there. I mean, once you make the playoffs, it's unknown as to how far you'll go. I mean, it just depends. Playoff basketball is a different animal, just like playoff football. But if you can get your team to the postseason multiple times, then the only reason you can't get over the hump is because you just don't make the right trades or you don't draft.
That's why
you don't draft well.
That's why those guys will have a job all the time. Thibodeau will always get a job if he wants one. Terry Stotts will get a job. Somebody will hire Terry Stotts. But you're not going to win with those. Whatever those teams become, if they ever win a championship, it's not going to be with those coaches.
Okay. Fair enough.
You know what, Nick? The more I look into your thoughts on Thibodeau, the more I'm like, Nick's right. I got to tip my cap to him. I looked up stats, and I think him and RJ Barrett were both in like the top 12. Well, you know, what's his name? Randall was number 1 in minutes played.
Yeah.
Per game.
It was like not even close.
But it was close, but not when you look at games played, because you got guys up there like Harden that plays 40 minutes a game, 38 minutes a game, whatever it was. Yeah. But he only played like 36 games, 40 games. Mm-hmm. Julius Randle played 40 minutes of every single game. And then RJ Barrett also in like the top 12. And I don't think anyone else played like every single game till you get to RJ Barrett. And he was like every single game at number 12. And I'm starting to think you're not batshit crazy when it comes to Thibodeau. But in other coaching news, the Boston Celtics somehow promote Brad Stevens from coach to general manager after Danny Ainge said that he was calling it quits. So they took a guy that was kind of on the hot seat as a coach and gave him the general manager position. How the hell does that happen? And do you guys agree with it? Do you agree with making him the GM? And who do you see fit as the next Boston Celtics coach?
Honestly, I mean, I couldn't even really give
Cassell. I think it'll be Cassell or maybe Thibodeau. I'm sorry. Maybe what's his name, Nick? Say it.
Terry Stotts.
It's Terry Stotts.
I mean, if possible. Like I said, he'll always get a job.
It could be if not Cassell, who I believe played for the Celtics at one point, no? Back in the day. Maybe former player. What the hell is his name? I read an article about a week or two ago, shortly after they promoted Brad Stevens. What was his name, man? Billups. Chauncey Billups. Yep. I don't really know who the hell they picked, to be honest. Those are just a few names that I read that would fit, I guess. I'm not surprised that they promoted Brad Stevens. I mean, he's a smart guy. Kyrie was a ticking time bomb in Boston. I think he kind of. I just that dude didn't fit, man. He just did not fit the Boston Celtics culture. Boston has a strong culture, and I don't think that Kyrie fit it.
Nick,
and I think for whatever reason,
I thought you were talking about Brad Stevens.
Yeah, me too.
No. I feel like everything with Boston kind of went downhill when Kyrie became part of that team, and then it's just like he disrupted everything, just like he does. Like he's a disruption. He's a fucking plague, And I think things started to go south for Brad Stevens. Then I think he couldn't handle the locker room. I think it slipped from him shortly, or maybe it was never really good. But I mean, Boston hasn't been bad. He's been a great coach. I'm not surprised that they promoted him to the front office. He is a smart guy, so they like him. But when you move a guy who was pretty big staple in the franchise, got them to the playoffs every year since what, like 20. They've been in the playoffs since the Cavs were relevant. No,
I think. I mean, I know Brad Stevens has done a crazy good job since he's been there, but I think there was a little bit of off. I think they had some off years between like when the Cavs were playing them every year until Stevens got there. I think there was a few years that they had off.
Okay.
When they started trading everyone to Brooklyn.
So at the end of the day, we can all agree that Brad Stevens was pretty damn good in Boston, and it's no surprise that they promoted him to general manager.
I hope and pray. I watch a lot of NBA. I like following and watching the Celtics, and I really hope they do not hire Sam Cassell because I truly just hate looking at that guy. He's got to be the ugliest dude I've ever seen in my life. And there's a segment we're getting to later on that we might bring up Sam Cassell again because I'm not even sure he's from this planet. I think
he was a former Celtics player. No, am I fucking losing my mind?
If he played for a lot of teams.
I don't think so. The only ones I remember is Houston. I think maybe the Bucks. I don't remember the Lakers. I just remember the Houston, the Bucks, and maybe the Clippers.
It's all started on the Lakers.
I didn't know that. I thought he started with Houston.
Either way, I feel like Sam Cassell played for Boston. I feel like he played for Boston. When I read about him in an article, I felt like he had some ties to Boston. He maybe won a few championships along the way. I don't know if it was with Boston, but Sam Cassell was along with Billups in conversation. So it'll be interesting to see.
You know who I think they should hire as their head coach?
Who?
Oh.
I think they should hire Chuck Woolery.
Chuck Woolery. Who's Chuck Woolery?
Welcome to Love Connection, where old-fashioned romance.
Did I freeze?
Unfortunately, I think that little spud just made you freeze.
I think I froze. Can you guys still hear me?
You froze.
I can still hear you, but
Let me try taking myself out and then put myself back in.
You look like you're about to swallow that mic.
About to murder that mic.
John is correct. He did play 1 year for the Boston Celtics.
Okay, good. Okay, so he didn't win with the Celtics, though. Was that a championship season?
Probably. And I was wrong. He did not play for the Lakers. I could have sworn that he played for the Lakers.
So who did he play with? He played for Boston.
He played with like 8 teams. He played with
the Sixers,
the Rockets, the Suns, the Mavericks, the Nets, the Bucks, Timberwolves, Clippers, Celtics. That was his final year.
My. Okay, so it's not outside of the realm of possibility that he goes in for an interview. I mean, I'd be interested to see who they bring in, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting. Tell you what,
do they trade Kemba and Smart for Damian Lillard?
I mean, I don't. The thing is, there's too many mouths to feed with that combo. I really feel
Not
like
really.
If I was them, honestly, I would keep Smart making my starting point guard. I don't think. I think their problem is their front court. Their back court isn't the issue. They need a center who can actually play.
Well, who can play still that's not 100 years old? And
I don't think you don't have to get a young guy. You can get a young guy, but I don't think it has to necessarily be a young guy. It just has to be a guy who can actually play. Like,
do you think the Lakers leave? Do you think the Lakers move off from Caruso and Gasol, and maybe Boston picks up Gasol?
I don't.
That dude's towards. I mean, that dude's old.
I think Gasol's too old. Like, I think like a guy like when they had Al Horford, that's the type of guy that they need. He might even He might even be a little too old now.
I mean, since Horford left, that was probably their best center.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Not even close.
I mean, I don't think what's his face was worth a damn. God damn it.
I mean, it's
What's
not
his name, man?
Robert Williams is a good stat producing center, but I don't think he's necessarily a good center.
Hey. Wait, are we talking about Robert Williams, the dude who had like 10 blocks?
Yeah, Time Lord.
9 blocks or something crazy like that?
I
like that dude. I like him a lot. I just think he was injured, bro. I think his ankle. I think he's good. They need another center in Boston.
Can he get good? Yes. But right now he's like a Hassan Whiteside type guy.
He was injured, bro. Give him a break.
He'll get you 8 blocks a game, and then he'll give up like 20 easy shots, and he'll foul out.
Nick, he had turf toe or a rolled ankle or some shit. Give the guy a break.
Really?
He played that series injured, bro.
I have a perfect coach for the Boston Celtics. I just thought of it. Brian Scalabrine. There was no better coach for the Boston Celtics than Brian Scalabrine.
Okay, I'm going to one-up you with Jason Kidd.
I don't care that he hasn't coached. I don't care that he hasn't coached. He's Boston Celtics. Neither had Nash, neither had Kerr.
You did it. You did it to yourself.
Don't you give me the fucking crickets.
Brian Scalabrine. Get the fuck out of here, Brian Scalabrine. All right, Dame time. Where's he playing next year, Nick?
Dame time.
We just said this off camera, Tony. Nick, I'm taking this for a second. Tony, I think the Boston Celtics move Kemba Walker and Smart for Damian Lillard. I think he plays in Boston.
I think Dame's going to stay in Portland.
No way. He's gone.
Unless they
dude, there's only 2 places he could go that they would utilize him and he would actually make a difference. That's A, Boston, or B, New York.
If he went to the New York Knicks,
he's going to the Knicks.
I'm winning that fantasy league next year.
He's going to the New York Knicks.
Could you imagine Thibodeau using
the thing is, what can they offer Portland to bring him there? Isn't he under contract?
He can
Nick,
offer. I
enough
mean,
about
obviously,
you and your fucking sorry ass fantasy league. All right, can you just tell me what can New York offer Portland?
If they are rebuilding, which if you lose Lillard, you're rebuilding at that point. You don't want Kemba. You don't want Marcus Smart. You're going through a total rebuild if you're losing him. So you might as well lose McCollum with it. But
What if they move on from Brown?
Who's Brown?
Jaylen Brown.
Who, the Celtics?
Yeah, I don't know why you would move on from Jaylen Brown.
I mean, you got to make the trade worth it. Damian Lillard's not a bum.
Dame time needs to be in New York City.
Yeah, but what can they give? What can they offer Portland?
They have picks. I'd offer them R.J. Barrett, your boy, best rookie and best player in the league. Your boy R.J. Barrett.
No, not best player in the league. Not best player in the league.
Best player from that draft.
Better than Zion.
I just think that he will have a better career long term than Zion. I'm sticking to that. I don't care how that comes back.
What if they gave him R.J. Barrett, top end, probably Alfred Payton, and some draft picks? I mean, you're not going to get – if he wants out, you got to take what you can get if he wants out.
Listen, I think that if Damian Lillard leaves Portland, he wants to go to a contender. Somewhere he can potentially win. I know Nick thinks that winning isn't his fucking thing, but if winning wasn't his thing, then he wouldn't leave Portland.
Well, here's the thing. I think he's getting fed up with the fact that Portland I'm not going to say that they don't get anyone, but they don't really go out and try and get a guy. You know, there's free agencies for a reason.
That's the shitty thing about being a small market franchise.
Make a move. Try to get a high draft pick or something. Make some type of move. They don't ever do anything. They just do these medium type moves. Like I like Robert Covington. He's a good player, but that guy wasn't one of the top free agents in that class.
McCollum sucks.
I mean, they made a move and did some weird shit when it comes to signing Carmelo.
That's not Carmelo.
They got Covington. They got who's the kid that they got? Powell from Toronto. Is a solid player. You can't surround him by a bunch of. I mean, you're not going to make Kawhi Leonard go over there.
All those guys are medium type players. They're average. They're average to slightly above average in the league.
All right, real quick.
Who knocked them out? Who knocked them out of the playoffs? Real quick, I forget.
Denver.
Denver, right?
Mm-hmm.
What are they missing in Portland to get past a Denver Nuggets team?
They're missing a couple of things. They're missing a backcourt defender.
Okay.
And they're missing a guy who's an efficient shot maker.
So they need to find those. They need to supplement those two players when trading Damian Lillard.
Yeah,
it might take 3 players in a pick.
Well, I mean, that's if you lose Lillard, then you're not getting those guys. Then you getting those guys mean nothing.
That's not true. That's not true.
It's exactly true.
Well, look at it this way.
The whole point in getting those guys is to complement Lillard.
There's a chance that Schroeder is not a Laker next year.
Well, you don't want Schroeder.
I don't give a fuck what you want.
What?
I'm telling you, when we make this discussion, we have to be able to back it up with sufficient talent. Who can be offered up? What would they take? You said they need a defender, and they need Schroeder's a pretty good defender.
You don't need Schroeder. No,
he's a good shooter.
Defender, eh? Second of all, you need a guy like Clay. You need a guy like Clay. You need a guy who doesn't have to have the ball in his hands all the time, but when he gets an open shot, cans it every single time. That's the type of guy you need with
Clay. Clay has not proven to be able to stay healthy lately. So
I'm just saying you need a guy like that.
Okay, all right. Well, I mean, I gave you the opportunity to give me those fucking players. Who?
I don't know. I can't think of them right off the top of my head. If I did, that would be. I should be the GM of the Blazers. Maybe that guy's not a star yet. I don't know.
Real quick, last thoughts on this. John, where is Damian Lillard playing basketball next year?
Boston.
Nick.
I think he's staying in Portland.
I'm going to go with New York Knicks. I'd like to move on from that. Something that just popped on my TV before we hopped on this tonight. LeBron James is changing his jersey number from 23 to number 6 with the Lakers.
Because that'll make him win the championship.
Don't you think that's kind of a dickhead move? I mean, think about all the kids for Christmas that get LeBron James Laker jerseys.
Yeah, fuck those kids.
Are you saying that like as LeBron or as you?
As the kids. Fuck the kids.
Okay, I you know what? I feel like we're gonna have to go back and edit this because you're just a fucking animal. You're just a fucking animal.
You are
You're
an
just
animal.
you're an animal. All right, look at it this way. You know what? I don't give a fuck what he does. Change your jersey number. Don't change your jersey number. At the end of the day, you know what? It's all about marketing. It's just a ploy to make LeBron's jersey sales more relevant. The way I see it is these young guys in the league right now, Tony, they are selling fucking jerseys off the chain. And LeBron's like, you know what? No one's buying my jerseys right now. Sales are kind of stagnant. You know, you got Booker jerseys, Jokic, Luka,
Zion.
No, Trey Young. You've got
RJ Barrett.
Hey, listen, I bet you RJ Barrett sold.
You just said Zion. If Zion's jersey selling, RJ Barrett's going to be going out like hotcakes.
Listen, at the end of the day, I just think that LeBron always wants to be able to make his name relevant some way or another, because that's where he kind of hits my fucking nerves. If we're not talking about him, he somehow manages to make his way into the conversation, be it flopping or his fucking movie we've waited 10 years for, or you know, I feel like we should be on like Space Jam 3 by now, bro, with all this hype.
I've been hearing about Space Jam with LeBron for 12 years.
Yeah.
I disagree with everything John said except for that last thing. This motherfucker always tries to make his name known. And if we're not talking about him, he has got to stick his little head up there and be like, hey, remember me? LeBron here.
Okay, so
I got kicked out of the playoffs. Don't forget about me.
Yeah.
What's the relevance of number 6? Am I missing something?
Nothing.
That's what he was in Miami, I think.
Okay, maybe.
I just feel bad, man. Like those jerseys are
That
expensive.
doesn't generate jersey sales, Nick?
What's that?
That doesn't generate that doesn't make a market for LeBron jerseys now?
Why doesn't he do that more often then? Why now?
Well, I mean, how fucking often do you change your number, bro? You do it every
Why
I mean, he's been 23 his entire career.
Why didn't he do it
all
last year? Why didn't he do it last year after they won the championship?
All
Why
right,
did he
so
do it
let's
this
play
year?
devil's advocate.
Why did he
So
why did he do
he's
it
been
this
number
year?
23. He's been number 23 since he left Miami.
Okay. Why did he do it this year when they got bounced in the first round, but didn't do it last year after they won the championship?
To make his name relevant.
Exactly. Because he has freaking FOMA.
All right, well, you disagreed with me. You disagreed with my take. I say that the young bucks in the league right now.
I said I agree with the last thing that you said.
The last thing I said was that he was relevant. So you agree that he wants to get his name in there in the jersey sales, because these young guys are selling jerseys right now.
I don't care about that. He's not trying to make his jersey sold. He just wants his name more relevant. He's a prick like that.
It's one and the same. But all right, Tony, moving on.
You know what, John? I know you love LeBron. I can't stand him.
I mean, it's not
sucks.
that I love him. It's not that I love him.
Everything
It's not that I love
about
him.
pisses me off.
It's not that I love the guy. It's that I acknowledge him for his fucking faults. I know that he can be toxic, and I know that he needs to be, you know, in the conversation. But I mean, he made my team relevant at one point, and I'm not going to hate him for it. I'm not going to discredit.
But do you know why?
I'm not going to take his name is in the leaderboards for a reason. He's been the player of our generation. So,
do you know why he made your team relevant? You know why he won you a championship?
I don't.
Because he saw an opportunity to come back and saw how he could mold that team into a championship contender. It could have been the Cleveland Cavaliers. It could have been the Detroit Pistons. If the Detroit Pistons had the number 1 pick, Kyrie Irving, and a bunch of role players, he would have went to Detroit.
Mhm.
He saw an opportunity to chase a championship. He's chasing championships.
Yeah.
He went
I mean,
to the
Tony,
fucking Lakers.
He's old. Do you blame him? I mean, rack it up.
He wasn't.
I'm not going to be mad.
He
I
wasn't
don't give
old
a
when he
fuck.
came to Cleveland.
I don't care how much. I don't care if he was chasing a championship when he brought one to Cleveland. They ain't going to get one any other fucking way.
Especially
They're not getting one. We're not getting shit done in Cleveland right now. We are fucking irrelevant. We are dog shit. Doesn't even matter.
Like your Cavs, like your Cavs, but don't be on this guy's nuts. He used you guys. He fucking hung you out to dry.
Mhm.
He hung you out to dry when he fucking
I got a
went to Miami.
championship out of it. I don't care what he does. At the end of the day, what do I give a fuck? I just wanted a championship. We got a championship. It was crazy. It worked out. We're good. Now it's up to Kevin Love.
He got his championship.
Yeah,
And then
that's
he
fine.
fucking
His
and then he
championship
fucking
is my
left
championship.
you. He left you guys because he knew he wouldn't be able to win another one with that same
Twice.
team.
No,
He
it's
went to
because
the
Gilbert's
fucking
garbage.
Lakers.
It's because Dan Gilbert is fucking one of the worst owners in a fucking NBA franchise. He's trash.
Dan Gilbert is an owner just like any other owner is. He wasn't anywhere worse. Everyone tries.
He didn't-
Every LeBron apologist tries to blame Dan Gilbert.
Gilbert wouldn't fucking open the wallet to pay these motherfuckers,
He
bro.
was paying Kyrie and freaking Love. How much more do you want to pay people?
Ugh, fuck you. Don't even. Can you take Nick out and bring him back in when he said take him? Put his ass in timeout, bro.
He was paying people. You bring me back. You bring me back. You don't do that to me. Show some fucking respect.
We just put your ass in timeout.
I can mute you too. Oh God, what a wonderful show it is with just me and you, John. Nick muted. You notice that clicking noise is gone too. That feedback.
Oh my God, bro. You know what it is? That's his fan that's spinning at that Mach speed that's not on right now. If he had hair, we would know that it was blowing it off his head.
Spinning. Actually,
All right.
to be honest, it's still spinning.
We need a little timer that like clicks on the bottom here for like a 10-second timeout or 20-second timeout.
Yeah, we should be able.
we can
That's
time
going to
out
be our
the-
thing. We're gonna start, and hopefully our subscribers will chime in and be like, you know what, put John, Nick, or Tony.
John
in
says
timeout.
LeBron. That's LeBron's awesome because he's in the record books. You know who else is in the record books, John? OJ.
OJ's awesome. OJ's
What the
awesome.
fuck does OJ have to do with this right now?
Murderer. He's a murderer.
Okay. LeBron never hurt anybody, bro. You're way off top. Put his ass in time.
The state of
Take him out again.
California disagrees with you, Nick.
Just take his ass out again.
That's how we move on.
Let's call it the penalty box. We'll put people in the penalty box for saying stupid shit in
That's
our.
about the closest we'll ever get to. That's about the closest we'll ever get to talking about hockey.
That's the closest. Maybe Jeremy will like us putting people in the penalty box because he ain't getting no fucking hockey out of us.
Sorry, Jeremy. Tried.
All right, let's get to Julio.
Yeah.
Julio Jones goes to the Tennessee Titans. After long awaiting his team of choice, it ends up being the Titans. They desperately. I mean, I think they kind of needed Julio Jones. They didn't really have a number two. They lost. Who the hell was their number two from last year? The hell's that?
Davis.
Yeah, Corey Davis. And they lost their tight end Smith.
Mhm.
So they really didn't have. They kind of needed Julio. Is this a good fit? Do you guys see this being a good fit?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Go ahead, John.
I think it's awesome, bro. I think it really opens up Tennessee's Tennessee's offense, bro. When you have Julio and AJ Brown on the same, dude, come on, bro. With Derrick Henry taking all those carries, I mean, this is a perfect position for Julio, man. I think first of all, half the reason why I'm happy is because he's not in the NFC West, so I'm good, automatically good there. But Tennessee is going to give the AFC some fits. You know, it's not just going to be the Browns. It's not just going to be the Kansas City Chiefs. Now the Tennessee Titans, if they weren't already relevant, they're more relevant, and they're going to be able to throw and make no mistake, like this gives them another option, dude. They're going to air that ball out, or they don't even have to. They can just tear it up with Derrick Henry, which honestly, the way they used AJ Brown, bro, Julio is still as good as it gets, man. Top 5 receiver in the league. They scored big time. They should be excited. Tennessee fans should be ecstatic. Honestly, I think it's excellent. It does wonders for their offense. It would have benefited any one of our teams, guys, with the exception of the Browns. I mean, even if he was with the Browns, bro. Let's say somewhere in the realm of possibility, they moved Odell Beckham. They brought in Julio Jones. What, you're going to be mad?
Yeah, but they're not going to do that. That wasn't going to happen.
I'm just saying it would have benefited any one of our teams to bring Julio in.
Well, they could also moved Baker Mayfield, not Joe Montana, too. Could have happened. Wasn't gonna.
You know what, John?
Nick? Take him out. Take him out, bro.
Don't you take me out.
We have to take you out, bro. You're toxic.
I think it's probably a decent move. I think it's a good move. It's not the best place he could have gone. The best place he.
So if you guys read below, you'll see that Nick is now in the penalty box for 30 seconds. John, I think this was one of the best landing spots for him when you see who was kind of going after him. You had New England pursuing him with Cam Newton. Cam Newton, I don't think, has ever had a receiver that stood out and put up big numbers that I can remember. Basically uses his tight ends. All right, 30 seconds is done. And then you got Baltimore with Lamar Jackson running around doing stupid shit. I think Tennessee was, out of the top teams that were going for him, is probably one of the best fits for Julio and for the team. I don't see anything else that would have worked out of those top teams that were pursuing him. Nick, go ahead.
Did you see what they gave them? Did you see what got him?
Yeah, a second round pick next year and a 4th round the year after.
Right. Now, had that been in the NFC, the stakes were higher, right? That was a first rounder, and and an early and maybe a second round pick or a 3rd round pick. So, hey, I mean, fuck, Tennessee got a bargain. I think they scored. It was great.
Nick?
If you're asking me like how I rate the move, I get a thumbs up by the Titans. Something they should have done. The price wasn't too high for them. It was a great move. As far as where Julio could have went, that I think how it rates, I think it's a good spot for him to land, but I don't think it's a great spot for him to land. Just because I don't think Tannehill's a great quarterback. I think if he was teamed up with a great quarterback, it would have been better. If I'm Aaron Rodgers, I'm done with the Packers right now.
Why?
Rodgers,
Why? You thought that they had a 1st round pick to give up?
I mean, something. Try something. Do whatever you can to get Julio Jones.
Nick, the Falcons were flirting with the market, saying that they had a 1st rounder offered on the table. If they had a fucking 1st rounder on the table, why didn't you move them?
Do they not have their 1st rounder next year?
No, I'm saying who? Green Bay?
Yeah.
I gotta look. I'm not sure. I'm just
Yeah, they
saying
got
that Atlanta said that they had a first round offer on the table. And I think they were just full of shit. They were trying to bait the NFC to go to basically, give up more capital than anybody was. Teams like supposedly Seattle didn't inquire, Arizona didn't inquire, San Francisco didn't inquire, or maybe we did, but I don't think the Rams inquired. So nobody in NFC West wanted Julio or didn't have the capital to get Julio. So it was for grabs in the AFC. And the AFC, any team in the AFC that probably wanted him, were like, look, you know what? It's a fucking second rounder and a fourth, bro. Now you don't think that Tannehill's great? I think he's good. I think he's real good.
I don't think he's great.
I think he's real good.
I think a lot of his ability rests on his legs. Do I think he's a better passer than Lamar Jackson? Yes.
God damn it, dude. Nick, you know what the thing about you is, bro? It's either fucking white or black with you, bro. It's never anything in the middle.
Hey,
Look,
you're racist.
Tony.
I got you, John. I already know.
You're going to sit there in silence and just fucking listen.
I already know what you're saying. This is Nick's second time in the penalty box, and we just created it 3 minutes ago.
Okay, look. At the end of the day, bro, I keep telling you this, and I'm sick of repeating myself. It's the fucking scheme, dude. Schemes make players better, all right? Tannehill doesn't have to be Patrick Mahomes. It doesn't have to be, bro.
I don't know why this keeps happening. Oh boy, we got to bring Nick back. I'm stalled again.
You know you're about to flight one of the Paul brothers.
I don't know what that means.
You're like in a fighting pose right now.
Oh man, yeah, Tony. I mean,
you want some of this?
Your freezes are probably
like
they're always
century boxer.
They're always sweet though. I got to give it to him, man. Those freezes, when he freezes in the perfect place. It
looks like I'm crying and I just wipe my tear.
It does. It really, really does.
Why does this keep happening? It's like the glasses.
No, I just don't like Tannehill.
That's not any reason to discredit the guy.
I actually like Tannehill as a quarterback. I just don't think, in terms of the passing aspect of his game, I don't think it's elite. Could you imagine Julio Jones with the Packers? Could you imagine Julio Jones with Aaron Rodgers throwing to him?
Nick, are you willing to give up the capital that it takes to get a guy?
Yes.
Who's old, who's got a little bit left in the tank, who's injured quite frequently. Well, I mean, I'm sorry, but he's injured quite frequently.
The Packers were a stone's throw away from the Super Bowl last year.
Then they don't need him.
No, that's when you actually do that. You try and get over that hump. You try and get a little better so you can go to the Super Bowl. Possibly win it. What are you talking about?
They just drafted some pretty good talent.
Big fucking deal. What talent's not going to be good for another 3 years?
Dude, I mean, there's still like $20 million left on the dude's contract, or like, I'm sorry, maybe you're talking like 15. I think it's like 15 mil. Dude, there's a lot of money there.
Teams don't have that kind of it.
Oh my God, Nick. Teams are coming off of a lesser cap from COVID, bro. A lot of teams don't have that money. A lot of teams are teetering on 1-year contracts to retain players.
I'm pretty sure the Packers can make it work.
Well, then if you don't think that they would have tried hell over high water, or how's that fucking saying go?
Hell over high water?
Hell over high water, bro. If you don't think that they at least tried, I would bet, and we'll find out soon, if the Green Bay Packers inquired, because they were probably trying, like, look, if we can land Julio Jones, we might be able to get Aaron Rodgers back in our good graces.
You would think they tried, but I've seen a lot of teams in my lifetime. Me being a Browns fan, me being a Cavs fan at one time, me being just a Cleveland sports team fan at one time, you know, I've seen a lot of teams that you'd think they go after a player, but they either did a half-ass attempt or they didn't go after them at all.
Or the player doesn't want to come to the armpit of the fucking country.
You at least got to try. You at least got to see.
How do you know? How do you know that they didn't try?
Because I've seen this done in my lifetime. You think these people are smarter than they actually are.
Oh, hey, come to the Cleveland Browns. We've sucked for fucking 3 decades. Come to the Cleveland Browns. Come and play for us.
Yeah, you know, that's not how you pitch. That's not how you make a pitch to people.
You don't have to fucking pitch it to people. It's fucking known.
Nice.
Bottom line,
people know.
There's no reason why Julio Jones would not like going to the freaking Green Bay Packers with Aaron Rodgers tossing him the ball.
It wasn't up to Julio Jones.
Okay. I'm just saying there's no reason why Julio Jones wouldn't go there. Why he wouldn't want to go there. The part of getting Julio Jones from the Atlanta Falcons rests on the Packers.
The Packers are in the NFC.
Okay.
They weren't going to pay that steep of a price, bro.
Give
I'm
them
sure they
the
tried.
third they want.
And you know what? With the uncertainty of Aaron Rodgers, how do you know Julio said fuck the Packers? I don't want any part of that drama right now.
Packers, you're probably wanting to keep Aaron Rodgers. What do you have to keep Aaron Rodgers now? He's pissed at you. That I believe is probably the only way that you would have wanted to stay, and you just ruined it.
They ruined it a long time ago when they didn't include him and this, that, and the other. But at the end of the day, bro, Julio Jones said, "I want to go where they're contending."
Julio Jones doesn't have to say where he goes.
Okay,
it's
you know what?
He was
a pretty big.
This was a chance for the Packers to put their arm around Aaron Rodgers and be like, "Come on, baby. Come on, baby. You know how I feel about you. I love you, baby. Look at this nice Julio Jones we gave you. Come on, sweetie. Stay with me, baby.
I'm sorry, bro.
Come on, baby.
Listen. You can say what you want about Atlanta, but they respected Julio enough to listen to him. I'm sure he had some places that he would have liked to have gone.
Yeah, because I'm sure the first place he wanted to go was the Tennessee Titans. I'm sure that was his first on his list.
You do understand that, like,
Nick, I think
he can afford to pay him, right? I mean, you want to go where you can get paid.
Now he's pondering.
Oh, shit.
Deep thought, biting the shit out of his lip.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch. I think someone just needed to say, I think the Tennessee Titans were the first team to really take him under his arm and just say, "Come on, baby. Come on over here to Tennessee, baby.
We'll treat you right. We'll treat you better than those Green Bay Packers."
Dude, Green Bay could never afford to pay him, man. They don't have the money.
How do you know that? I have no clue of Green Bay's financial status, and I'm going to bet neither do you. Okay? I don't see too many huge players other than Aaron Rodgers that they're paying. Like, who are they paying a lot? But freaking Geronimo Allison.
No, I mean, shit. I mean, Rodgers' cap number is set at like $37 million.
Okay.
I'll look at Sports Track and find out. Because I'm curious.
I'm pretty sure they could have fit Julio Jones up. I'm pretty sure they could have fit Julio Jones in there.
Yeah, they just needed.
Dude, they have an estimated $6 million, bro.
Okay. You create cap space.
Fuck you. They just lost their fucking quarterback of their fucking. Are you kidding me?
Fuck you.
Fuck you. I'm telling you right now, bro. They could not afford him.
They definitely could have afforded him.
That was $6 million they can. Bro, owed an estimated like 15, 16, something, something crazy, bro. No, it doesn't work, bro. And at his age with his injury, it's all garbage.
Man, I'm getting some terrible sounds. Are you guys hearing this?
Mute yourself, Tony. Let me see who it's coming from.
Can you hear it still?
Yeah. No, I don't hear the sound anymore. I hear you.
You know, Nick, dude, the way that when you process information, yep, wait, no. No. It's like, dude, what is a no is a yes. You just shit it out of your mouth. You're like, hey, is the fan off? No. Yeah.
You want the fuck, Nick? Do you want the fucking penalty box again? All right, did you guys? All right, last thing on Julio. Where do you see the Tennessee Titans going this year? Where do they finish in the AFC? John.
Oh shit. Fuck. I don't know, man. Maybe 12-4.
Do you see them going? Where do you see them getting knocked out?
I don't know that they do, Tony. Maybe they go to the AFC Championship game.
Well, that's what I'm asking. So you have them in the AFC Championship game?
I mean, look, I think with the addition of Tannehill, man, this is big for them. Now look,
With the addition of Julio.
Yeah, I'm sorry. With the addition of Julio. I really favored the Browns this year to go to the AFC Championship. So I don't know. Really. Look, I think that they play for the AFC Championship. Whether they make it or they don't, I don't know. But they're gonna be better with him. So I still can't give you that for sure. I'm not sure. That won't caught me off guard.
You don't even want to say where you think they'll go.
You got caught off guard when we were talking about Julio Jones. You didn't think that Tanner was going to ask you what the Titans record was going to be after the acquisition.
I think that they can win 12 games in the. I think they can win 12 games. Do I think that they win the AFC Championship? I have you guys going to the AFC Championship, playing Kansas City.
All right, so divisional round.
They win the divisional.
Nick.
So I think they'll probably win 9-10 games. Like I said, I like the acquisition of Julio Jones. I think the price was right that they paid. But in terms of actually the effect it's going to have on the team overall, I don't think it's going to have a gigantic effect on them. Like I think they're not as good as the Browns even after Julio. I don't even think it's close. And I think they'll probably make the playoffs, but they'll probably be a wild card and they'll probably get bounced.
So divisional.
Yeah.
Wild card, or you'll think they'll get it past the wild card?
I think they'll probably get past the wild card and get bounced in the divisional.
Yeah, that's where I have them as well. I think they'll be good, but I mean, how much? I mean, let's just say it this way: how much better did he make the fucking Falcons the last couple of years?
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, they were terrible. They had a better quarterback and probably just as good of another receiver on his team, and they were terrible. So,
yeah, that's right. I mean, does he make you better? Yes. How much better?
Meh. Did you guys happen to catch the Logan Paul Floyd Mayweather fight?
Unfortunately, yes.
Was that the dumbest? Was that the dumbest thing you've ever seen?
The absolute dumbest. It was a mockery. The whole thing was set up just like I said it was going to be, and it proved to be. First of all, with those rules, how is only a knockout a victory? Like, I get it's an exhibition, but you can't make the same rules as a normal sanctioned fight. You only win by knockout.
It made no sense.
It didn't even seem like anyone wanted to knock each other. Like any of those guys wanted to knock each other out. Definitely didn't seem like Floyd Mayweather wanted to knock him out.
I mean,
I
it just the fact is that Floyd doesn't knock people out. He just wins. He scores the cards.
Here's
So-
the thing. I get Paul was like 30 pounds bigger. I get that. I understand that. He's a bigger guy. But after watching that fight, if Floyd Mayweather was actually in a real sanctioned fight, he would have knocked him out.
No, he wouldn't have, but he did. He
Yeah.
did. He did
Could've.
land, and he did land 50% to the other kid through like the kid was in the teens in his percentages. He didn't even hit Floyd. He missed him. Did you see the actual the punch, the like the card, like the scorecard? Well, it wasn't a score. It wasn't a score, but it was just like the stats. The stats, yes, the stats. I'm sorry.
Did you
Did
see
you
this
see him?
GIF? Did you see this GIF that was been running around the internet? Like
I'm paused again.
Floyd Mayweather hit Paul, and this when Paul was like really tired, and it looked like Paul was going down, and Floyd Mayweather kept him up. Like Mayweather could have hit him and knocked him out, but instead he basically carried him.
What a mess!
Nick,
what a mess I'm having with this camera, guys.
You said this a long time ago. You said that this was a cash grab. It is what it is. Just leave it at that. You were right.
Mm-hmm.
They robbed the bank. Leave it go. I enjoy watching Floyd fight regardless of who he fights.
We're talking about it, so I'm gonna say what I have to say. It's bullshit. I mean, listen. It is what it is. Does Floyd Mayweather have every right to make as much money as he wants to make? Sure. It should be up to people whether or not they're going to be stupid enough.
Yeah, he didn't force anybody to buy the fight.
Yeah, it's going to be up to people whether they're stupid enough to buy this garbage. And fact of the matter is,
buy it, don't buy it, dude. Buy it or don't buy it.
Thankfully, we didn't buy it. We got it magically through the graces of.
Good.
what you can do on
Put us
television.
out there. Yeah, put us out there. Tell the whole world.
I got news for you. You guys can't see me, but I'm actually calling the cops to come arrest Nick right now for getting free shit
Prove it.
for stealing fights.
Prove
Do you guys? Can you guys promise me one thing?
What?
Next thing I want to talk about the Euro Cup, 2021 Euro Cup. Can you guys promise me that by next Tuesday, I think it starts on Friday, can you guys promise by next Tuesday during our show, we'll be able to talk something about the Euro Cup?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Hell
super
yeah.
fun. I can't wait to watch it. I get hyped for Premier League. I get hyped for World Cup and Euro Cup.
The
So
only thing about Euro Cup is Greece isn't in it, so it kind of takes the it's like watching the playoffs and your team's not in it. It kind of takes the fun out of it.
Look, it's not our fault that they're 60 years old, smoking and playing soccer. I can't help that. But I am pulling for Portugal.
When Greece won that Euro Cup, like I said, it was one of my favorite sports moments of all time.
All right, well, they're not here, so we're going to watch it. I'm pulling for Portugal. Nick, you're pulling for...
I mean,
I'll pick a team for you.
most of the
You're gonna pull for North Macedonia.
No, I'm not pulling for North Macedonia.
Yes, you are.
Is England in it?
Nope.
They're not in it. They're not in the Euro Cup.
Yes, they are. I just don't want you to pick them.
Why?
I think you should pick North Macedonia. That's who you should choose.
I don't want to pick North Macedonia.
Well, just choose them.
I don't want to choose. You fucking choose them.
Nick, you got Italy, France, England, Russia, Wales. You seem like a Wales guy.
I'm not a Welsh guy.
No? Switzerland?
I think you should choose North Macedonia. Tony, let
You
me
like-
choose North
you know-
Macedonia.
You like the Swiss? You like
know-
the Swiss?
You know which team I always kind of respect for some reason? Belgium.
Oh, Belgium. Belgium's a heavy favorite in this. I mean, not a heavy favorite,
Dude.
but
He's
They're
only
top.
he's only picking
They're always
Belgium
one of the better
because he likes waffles.
I do like waffles. What's not to like about a waffle? You don't like waffles? Get the fuck out of here.
No, but Belgian waffles hit the spot though, bro. And you should pick North Macedonia. There's no question about it.
I don't want North Macedonia.
Well, I'll tell you what,
Bro.
John. If you're going with Portugal and Ronaldo, Nick, Belgium, you know who their best player is?
I don't.
Dude named Lukaku.
Oh, I do know him. I just didn't know he was from Belgium.
Nick
you
knows
played-
him from FIFA.
You played with him on FIFA, I bet.
Yep.
Lukaku.
Manolo Lukaku, or isn't that his name?
They have actually De Buren, which I thought he was German, but turns out he's from Belgium. It's weird. Some of these guys that they're on their national teams, and you're like, what the hell? That's not the national team I thought you would be on.
Romelu Lukaku.
Lukaku, he's sick.
You know who the captain is, don't you, Nick?
Who?
Well, it might have been an old captain, Hazard.
Hazard, he's still there, but he's injured right now.
So at the end of the day, look,
A couple years back, they were freaking sick.
Nick,
They got the same team, but plus this De Buren kid. That's one of the best players in the world. So Belgium is going to be your pick because of the waffles, Nick. John, we got you with Portugal and Ronaldo, and I'm going to take France with Mbappe. Is my guy over there. So
of course, yes, that's the dude that's on the new FIFA cover. No,
I'm not sure, but he plays for my Paris Saint-Germain, and I gotta represent him. And that's who I'm going with.
well, good for you.
I'll tell you what. This was more than I thought we would get out of this. So
soccer's one of those things that, like, A, FIFA, and B, like, I do like watch it sometimes, but not enough to ever know it's like the story of what's going on at the time.
Yeah, that's because you don't pay attention. You sleep like you're like a muskrat. You sleep like 20 hours out of the day, bro.
I don't sleep 20 hours out of the day. I slept like 5 hours today.
How about John for knowing how much muskrats sleep?
I actually have no idea how long muskrats
He's a
sleep.
muskrat
I just-
genius over there.
I just feel like Nick should have a pet muskrat and should be pulling for North Macedonia.
All right, Nick, Belgian waffles, John, Portugal with Ronaldo, me with France and Mbappe, and next week we'll give updates on our teams. Can you guys promise me that?
Do you like Mbappe because your favorite song is Mbop?
That's for me to know and you to find out. Okay. Last thing I want to get to, and I'm really interested to hear about John's view on this specifically. About a week ago, it came out that there has been some sightings of some unidentified flying objects.
Oh man.
The United States government has come out and said, this is technology that we do not have. Those are not our aircrafts. We don't know what the fuck those are unless China came out with some new
Blaming
crazy.
the Chinese again, bro.
Oh God! Shit!
The aliens don't want us to talk about this.
They're shutting us down.
Shut us down. What the fuck? My Google Play just started going on now too.
Oh, shit's getting crazy. Guys,
Everything's good here. You guys are just fucked up.
Shit's getting crazy. So that's because you're one of them, John. All right, what do you think about this?
I am. I probably
United
am, bro. You know what?
Are you a UFO believer? And does this? And you need to check out the still frames that they have from space, and United States government saying this ain't any of our shit, and unless China's got some crazy new technology. What do you think about this? I actually, when I heard this story, I was like, I can't wait to talk to John about this.
Well, I have all the freeze frames I need of you currently in the last hour and 10 minutes. However, dude, look, you know what? At the end of the day, I always believe that, we share There has to be something out there, bro. And if they're coming to the Earth, then it's because we fucking suck, and they need to set the balance straight. I mean, look, I saw these sightings. I've seen military planes tracking these sightings, and they can't keep up. They drop they drop so low in altitude that it's like impossible for anything to make these turns, to be able to it was like basically the patterns that these things were flying in. There is no aircraft that can make those turns and drop an altitude so quickly. So if in fact it is an extraterrestrial flying some fucking unidentified flying object, then so be it. However, these things cannot be caught, and they're not going to be caught. So we're going to see more and more of this bullshit until I don't know, until we don't. I mean, Nick, these are Nick's cousins, so maybe he can reach out.
Sam Cassell's up there, man. Sam Cassell's up there flying around trying to get that new Boston job. Nick, what do you think? Are you a believer of the UFOs?
I mean, I'll put it this way. I don't discount the fact that there could be UFOs because like we're like one of like a ridiculously massive amount of matter in space. You know, there's no reason why there couldn't be like another Earth type planet or something like that. There's no reason why life couldn't be on there, and there's no reason why people like intelligent life like us could be on there. Do I think that now UFO stands for unidentified flying object? So yes, they're unidentified flying objects. Do I think they're necessarily alien spacecraft? I don't necessarily know. I'm not discounting it, but I don't. It's probably not that.
What could it be? I don't know. What, is it a new drone that kids are playing with today that are outrunning some of our nation's fastest aircraft? I mean, you tell me, what are they buying at Amazon that can travel that fast?
There's a lot of things that I can't explain.
Well, let me explain something to you. This is probably one of those things where we should put you in timeout, but every time we do, StreamYard gets pissed off and freezes Tony for it. So until we figure that out.
But the thing is, why?
I'm using the hillbilly cam. We're good now.
Why would they just come here and just fly away real quick?
I don't know, bro.
Yeah, they're probably like, them fuckers crazy.
I don't know. Maybe to make us speculate. I mean, it worked, right? I mean, whatever they're doing,
they're trying to gain advantage in a trade negotiation.
Maybe whatever is in our atmosphere is harmful to them, and they've had spacecrafts attempt it before, and something in our atmosphere is harmful to them and their technology. Wouldn't that be crazy? I got news for you guys. I cooked grilled octopus like 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
And as I was like preparing it and cutting the octopus, now, like when I say octopus, I went to the seafood market here in Columbus, and they gave me an actual full octopus. Yeah. And I was like, I had to take the head off and remove all this shit. And as I was doing it, I was like, this thing's a fucking alien.
Pissed, have you ever seen? I bet you had crop circles in the backyard.
That's what I'm saying. I hope I don't piss off one of these alien fuckers by messing with that octopus, because it was like a few days later is when the story broke.
We've been messing with an alien for the last 20 years. Here he is right here. If that doesn't piss him off, I don't know who the fuck will.
That's what keeps chasing them away.
Yeah.
John, actually, let's start with Nick. Do you have any final thoughts, buddy?
Man, I always keep besides for that bunt thing, I never have something loaded for the final thought.
Listen, Don't get the penalty box on your final thought. That's very embarrassing.
Final thoughts are just give us your final thoughts of what we discussed today, bro. Brief.
It'd probably just be reiterate. You know what? Screw it. Scalabrini. I'm going Scalabrini for the Boston Celtics. That's my final thought.
Okay.
That's it? Like, you're not even going to talk about it? That's just like your final thought?
I think it's a joke, but I actually think it fits perfectly. He's a former player, knows a lot about basketball, and represents the city of Boston.
You know what? I don't mind this. I don't mind this mic, this camera.
It's not bad.
It's not bad at all, actually.
That's
What are
neither
you
here nor
using?
there. This is on my laptop.
No, you know what? I will give a final thought. Dame Lillard.
Okay.
I really haven't spoken about this. So the reason why I think he'll stay in Portland is this reason. I've heard a lot of players in my lifetime want to get out of the team. What he says doesn't seem like a player wanting to get out of a team. What he's saying, he's dropping little hints, being like, "Listen, we better do something." And I think that's what he's actually doing. He's like, a change needs to happen. And I think if you notice, that was before they fired Stotts when he put that tweet
A
out.
few days later, the coach was gone.
Yeah. So that's what I think he's saying. That's why I think he'll stay in Portland. That's my final thought.
Johnny?
Firing Stotts was not the answer. I believe that the Suns will beat the Denver Nuggets. I believe that Milwaukee wins Game 3. And if they don't, I at least hope that Giannis smashes KD in his fucking ugly face. It rips that little rat's tail off his fucking chin.
Jesus.
It's an angry man.
Jeez, John.
Whatever those UFOs are, I hope they keep giving the military fits. Keep doing your thing. Keep fucking with everybody.
Keep doing your thing.
I hope you choose my friend Nick's home to invade first if you come to our planet. I really hope you choose him. He has no firearms. He's open game. Just go get his ass.
Who says if the aliens come to the planet that they're going to be harmful? Maybe they just want to chill. They'll be welcome. I got Doritos. I got leftover squirt. They'll be happy.
Yeah, you have leftover. Yeah, your Doritos are stale. Probably expired a year ago.
They probably come there when you're Nick. They come there when you're sleeping. They're like walking around like, oh my god, this guy's got fucking squirt.
I got freeze pops. They probably never fucking see freeze pops up there.
Oh,
Guys, who lives here? A 12-year-old? He's got fucking squirt and freeze pops.
There's Capri Suns in the bottom drawer.
Let's get the fuck out of here.
Oh shit.
Oh my god.
I really hope they come to Nick's house, bro.
They would be
really
the fuck
do.
out of here. They would be out of here.
I wish they would just fucking just land right on his car. Just land right on it. Just fucking land on it. At the end of the day, Tony, this UFO take has got our viewers probably wondering whether or not they know whether are these guys fucking real or not.
They so my final thought is I want to say it was Detroit Pistons and San Antonio Spurs back when we were like gambling on sports and stuff. I remember our friend Satiri called me one day and he goes, "Hey, there's a bet that I want to put in and you should do it with me." I'm like, "Okay, what is it?" He said, "It's Detroit Pistons Spurs finals game. The first and the bet was a prop bet. Who would score the first basket of the game?" And Ben Wallace for the Pistons was a 22-1 odds, which is crazy because he's a starter. It's not like he was coming off the bench. But that's ridiculous odds. It was like $2,200 to 100. I don't know, whatever it was. We both put in $50, and if we would have won, it would have been like 2,000 some bucks. And I remember the tip-off game. Detroit got the tip-off. They threw an alley-oop. Billups threw an alley-oop to Ben Wallace, and he missed the dunk. And we were like, are you kidding me? Spurs are going to come down here and score. Spurs come down, miss the shot. Detroit comes back, and Ben Wallace goes up for a dunk, misses the dunk, but gets fouled. First free throw comes, airballs it. Second free throw comes, airballs it. And then dunk, like Ginobili comes down and like makes a shot. They had 2 opportunities to fucking have Ben Wallace score the first points of the game, and he didn't do it. And I started looking back at that Tim Donaghy. Is that what his name was, Nick? That referee that was like gambling and how did? And my final thought is, how the hell did the NBA come back from that? Like, why wasn't it was a big story, and the guy got thrown in jail? But why wasn't that a bigger thing?
It wasn't
like
that big, though.
What's that?
I said it wasn't that big.
I'm saying why wasn't it bigger?
I don't know.
That fucker was a referee throwing games. How did the NBA make it out of that?
I think it would probably today it would be a bigger story than it was back then.
But why? Like, why wasn't it a big story then? The guy was throwing fucking games as a referee.
Yeah, because with social media, everything right now, I realized that was what was that, like back in 2005, 2006?
But he was doing it for years.
Yeah. No, I mean he did it for a while, but with the advent of social media and everything, it would have gotten a lot more circulated as a story.
Probably.
And then you had coverage of like trials and stuff like that. I think like back then it just kind of got lost. It was here and then it went away.
That's all I got, guys. All our viewers, we ask you to hit subscribe. We truly appreciate all your love and support that you've been giving to the channel. We've been getting some good subscribes, some good views, and we truly appreciate. If you're not subscribed yet, please slap that subscribe button down below. And that's all I got, guys. I got a cheers to everyone out there, and we'll see you next week on the Locker Room Rant.
Cheers.